Welcome, friends, salutations, gratitudes, greetings, congratulations, submissions, and prayers. Loka Sevaka, Dharma Stapaka, Viragi, Bhakta, Shishya, Mokshu, Jignasu, Shrota, Sadhaka, Parishrami, Prerita, Prashanta, Bhasha Yukta. 13 Vyaktitvas and 6 sources Shruti Mata, Guru Gana, Devata Gana, Jagan Mata, Ishvara, Brahma Tattva. Let that be always remembered, be inspired, be on the job. We are studying here the Shwethashwathara Upanishad, Prathamodhyaya, very step by step systematic guidance in the understanding knowledge. We are into the eighth mantra, so wonderful. After the seventh mantra, the prashna by the Purvabhakshi is when Ekamivadvayam Brahma is the one you talk about, then Jiveshwara Veda also is not found in that. Then how that Leena Brahmani merging in the Brahman, this language has been employed. Where there is some verb is there. How Brahma में लीन होते हैं. Because है तो एक ही, you only told there is Ekamevaadvayam Brahma. Now, for that, the answer, actually it should be the point from the Siddhanti Paksha, Purvapakshi Siddhanti Paksha, as if they are changing their places here. It is the Purvapakshi or Sadhaka or the Jiva or the Samsari, you and I, who are bound in upadhis and are suffering. We need to do the sadhana. No, missing that link or point, holding on to the theory given by the Guru that there is one Brahman without second, he is bit getting confused. And obvious, he should ask the question to the Guru. So the Guru's answer would be Brahman is always one without second. But question is whether Brahman is one without second or not is not. Have you realized that Brahman? No. So why have you not realized? Because you are at the Upadhi level. Therefore, understood from what standpoint the entire Shastra talks about the Sadhya Sadhana. So you are at the Bandha Sthiti, and for you the Bandha Karana is the Upadhis. Therefore, you need to do the sadhana. So the doing sadhana is mentioned here as Leena Brahmani. And what is the Leena of the Brahmani? That doesn't mean that he is apart from the Brahman and then now becoming Leena in the Brahman. You know, separate था उसमें लीन हो गया. हाँ, he was never separate. But that feeling and sense of separation, you are experiencing it. For whatever the reason. The reason is ignorance and upaditadhat. Then when those two are removed, then you are feeling that sense of separation that you will not have. You will feel that oneness. That feel of separation is you are feeling now. The feeling of oneness, we calling it as the Leena. So don't go by the word meaning. You go by the Sadhya Sadhana. What are you now experiencing? What is expected to experience? And what is the process adopted? That process to be followed is important rather than getting lost in the words or vyakarana. Many a times, the words and grammar will not, they are only facilitators to convey the understandings and bhavana, isn't it? That is why when two people are very close in their bhavana, even the communicating meaning or the means language, even if it is not healthy, because the bhavana is one, they don't mind it. They don't value that communication. When the bhavana is not good, then too much particular value is given to the words. There, that person doesn't want to catch the bhavana. He wants to catch the meaning of the word and he tries to create that gap. These mistakes happen. So here, वहाँ लीना ब्रह्मणि का अर्थ हुआ उपाधि तादाद में छोड़कर निरुपाधिक आत्मा में आत्मा का अनुभव करना. अब any word employed in Vedanta is having its limitation. Because if we say now Anubhav Karna means experience. Again, whenever you say experience, again you will have a question. Oh my dear Purapakshi, that an experience is possible when this Triputi is there. Experiencer, experienced, experience. That is why we told already. Tasmin Trayam, Supradeshta Aksharam. Anything employed in Vedanta, it creates a doubt for a non-subtle individual whose intuitive intellect has not woken up. जिनको वेकअप हुआ है दैट इंटेलेक्ट देयर इज नो क्वेश्चन एनीथिंग टोल्ड just entering inside. That intuitive intellect is there in every profession, every field. Like a class of 30, 40 students in school, college, those who have intuitive intellect, let us say for maths, the maths teacher comes and teaches, that one fellow grasps everything pakka. He's such some intellect is subtle. You before the teacher tells, he catches the formula. And tell that fellow the other thing, let's say literature or poetry, वो फिर उसमें उसको दिमाग काम नहीं करेगा. And the other fellow who was not catching the subject maths, he will catch the other one, the literature, the poetry or the history. वो उसको फटाफट वो समझ में आता. Something, is special only. That's why this fellow scores marks in this and that is that fellow. Isn't it? Intuitive. Like, sports में. Sports person only. But he is excellent in batting only. Ask him to bowl, उसको नहीं है बस, that intuition नहीं है उसको. The other fellow he does bowling, ask him to bat नहीं out. उसका वो उसी में काम है. In the same way, a special trained beautiful intellect is there, फटाफट all the things will be grasped by us. That's called pure heart. Purity is just seeking the truth, that's it. Then the things start falling in right place. We seek something else, and in this the interest is not that much. Then in the subtle way the mind functions, how it plays the trick. Like the children do not want to do the work, then they play the trick how to avoid the work, how to avoid that study, or how to avoid going with you wherever you want to take them. They play the tricks, but they don't want to. And they want to go, they play the other trick to go with you, even if you say no. So mind plays both the tricks to avoid spirituality, to be worldly. दोनों करती रहते हो. मन को स्थिरता आने के लिए बुद्धि को जागृत होना है. दैट इज वही द विचार एंड लक्ष्य निर्धारणा दे ऑल बिकम वेरी crucial aspects in Manushya's spiritual evolution. They are the internal deeper things click to us as we struggle while going through this शास्त्र study. कहाँ गलतियाँ हो रहे हैं सूक्ष्म रूप में कैसे सेट करना, they all will be revealed. Means when we are consistent, seeing our consistency, the divinity gives us those opportunities to have those subtle intuitive powers to understand the things to be understood. Right? So that mantra, that bhashya, wherein the Upadhi, the Jiva, the Ishvara, the Brahma, the Sambandha, the Bandhana, the Sadhana, the Moksha. All of that will be discussed in this Ashtamodhyaya, Ashtama Shloka with lot of quotations from various beautiful texts. Let us do that. And our Sankalpa Prarthana, just to be in touch with the Guru Tattva and all of them, every day we have to do. Before that, in our today's common sense thought is very precisely shortly, one or two things only. Ki in human beings, chinta, worry, okay, when if it is given a direction, is always good and healthy. Chinta, when it's not given a right direction, that continues to burn us. Chinta becomes a chita to burn. But if the chinta or the worry is given a right direction in trying to sort out that chinta, then that chinta was required. And in this world, many people are chintagrasta, and with that chinta, they spoiled themselves and died also. Many people, because of chinta only, again, they worked and came out of that chinta. You know, people, worried about the health. Some of them worried about the health, deteriorated their health. There, the worry became the cause of deterioration and destruction. In other place, somebody worried about the health, but somehow out of the worry, like Arjuna, विषाद से योग में आ गया. Out of the worry only, they thought over and discovered, ki, why should I suffer this disease? Let me do my best. I may not cure it 100%, but at least 30-40% I can reduce it. That much pain also will reduce for me. So a person out of chinta became chintaka and then found the solution. And that chinta is required. कि परसों मैं बीमार था, कल भी बीमार था, आज भी हूँ, या कल भी मैं ऐसे रहूँ क्या? No, he should think about it. Human being is given the intellect to think. So to other person, परसों I was poor, yesterday also I was poor in poverty, I am in poverty today, कल भी मुझे ऐसे रहना पड़ेगा, अगले महीने अगले साल, should I continue suffer poverty? Isn't it? People out of that poverty, they worry, commit suicide, one category. For them, the chinta became the source of destruction. The other fellow, out of that chinta only, thinks no, because of my laziness, I'm not working, therefore, I'm not earning money. I may not earn lakhs and crores, but at least for my survival, I can earn out of that chintana, and he starts working. And if he makes a habit of chintana, then the work can increase, income can increase, etc. So, two examples, whether you call a health example, or wealth example, or loneliness example. I am all alone. People are worried, and in that loneliness, especially elderly age, may they suffer more. Some of them either take to some internal sadhanas. What lonely, nothing to doing is an opportunity to me. So let me do my inner sadhana. Yeah, others, they find their own ability, talents, and then they make a group. That is how that lonely fellows groups kitne sare hai throughout the world. All the retirees, oldies, they come out of their loneliness through the chinta converted into chintana. Forums they make, they meet twice a week or thrice a week. We're not talking whether they are doing things spiritual or not, but somehow they have found a solution. They are not victims of that loneliness. Example only. In this way, chinta hona chahiye. From that chinta, we have to come out of the lethargy, etc., and do those things by which those particular chintas have to go away. That's how the human being. Now, as the examples are shared, three or four, our life also, as a spiritual seeker, we have to have the chinta. But don't misuse that chinta to get destroyed like in the other examples. The chinta is the last life I was Baddha Jiva. In this life also, right from beginning, I was a pakka, stupid, useless samsari. Last year also I was a samsari. 6 months back also samsari. From last 1 month I am pakka samsari. 99%. 1% maybe I attended the class. Last week also I was like that. 2 days back, all my life was outward extroverted. Yesterday it was like that. Now today is the day which is in my hands. चिंता होना चाहिए यार, आज भी मैं सुबह से संसारी ही था. I mean, somehow in the class, the gurus will try to make me sadhaka, and definitely they will fail. And after the class is over, again I am samsari. Tomorrow also, day after. तो अगले 2 साल के बाद आई विल बी संसारी ओनली. 5 साल के बाद, मरने के पहले, while dying, will I be samsari or what? What about my next life? Will I have the same set of samsara as I have this time? The worry for the artha, the worry for the kama, and then the worry for those things which fulfill this artha and kama. And to gain them involving all the adharmic means or hardships and struggles. This is a chinta. We have to think like a person of disease thinks about, person of poverty thinks about. You and as a spiritual seeker should think. If you don't think only, we will never understand what we were, what are we, what we will be tomorrow. If the trend continues, then from that we have to shake off our lethargy. No, how can it be so? I am a Purusharthi. I am given Purushartha Samarthya, capacity to put efforts to change. Change may not be drastic, change may not be 100%, change may not be complete, but little bit I can do, isn't it? If the good things I cannot do, then who will do good for me? The God. Then are the bad things also done by the God? You will never do the bad, no? I only did. Therefore, good also I have to do, isn't it? God is not a funny fellow to give me the habits of laziness or habits of extrovertedness. He will not give. I only got them. Therefore, He will only give facilities for me to change, become good. He will not do it for me. I only have to. In that way, from that thinking or chinta or the worry, the light has to come within us. No, no, no. It should not be like that. There should be a change. Then work on it. So my next life should be beautiful. And that depends on how do I die this life. Because अंतकाले च यम यम वापि स्मरन् भावम त्यजति अन्ते कलेवरम tam te vaiti kaunteya. Hey Arjuna, with whatever, final thought. One leaves the body, he will get that only. 8th chapter of Gita. Then toward the end of the life, we have to have only those spiritual thoughts which will give me spiritual life next one. Then if I die after, let us say, 20 years, before that for next last 10 years I have to be like that. For that, before that, 5 years. For that, these 5 years. For that, this particular year. In that, we have to become more specifically calculate. Therefore, if I have to be spiritual next month, it depends on this month. If I have to be spiritual next week, it depends on this week. If tomorrow I have to be spiritual, it is not accidental. It is made. By being spiritual today, and last but not the least is, if today, post afternoon if I have to become spiritual, that depends on what I am before noon. And in the before noon, next hour I have to be spiritual, that depends on this hour. So to next minute, this minute, next moment, this moment. So should know that moment by moment when we are spiritual, then only it becomes a habit to continue. Like you and I are day by day, we are doing the classes. Therefore, they are continuing. Right? That's a great achievement. The other aspects of making the intellect sharper and subtler, and the individual in me becoming serious and sincere about this project, and the mind should like and love this more and more rather than getting bored. Yes, are then internal subtler adjustments. They are required. And problems will never end till we reach Paramatma or till we die. They will keep on coming, sorting out. तो हमको करना ही पड़ेगा. That's okay, but at least we are making it every day. Listen, so that is achieved. So that proves that the other thing also can be achieved. That's what moment by moment only we have to conquer sadhana. See, The moment that chinta is used for the thinking, we got an idea at least that yaar har din har pal sadhana karna hai. No, that gives inspiration. That gives an utsah, a joy. Theoretical understanding only. That if I do moment by moment, maximum effort laga ke sadhana, definitely I'll improve. That thought itself gives joy. Then if we practically do so, like one by one text if we study, this is a joy. Thought. But really when we are doing one by one, look back and see. Ishake Nakata Prashna Munda Mandukya Taittiriya Aitareya, now the ninth Shwethashwathara. Is it not a joy? Practically, we know we have studied. Yeah, our memory power and all, they are weak. It's okay. That will all, it's a long process. You know, we have not done anything substantial practically to change our Vyaktitva to become more qualified for catching all these sublime truths. That's a big process. वो चलता ही रहेगा वो. But the fact that we could cover so many texts in the evening and all, it's a fulfillment. Practically करने के कारण. We have done it. We have to congratulate ourselves, to inspire ourselves for further. मैं वही करता हूँ. Every day I get thoughts that let me stop class today, enough of it. Now people are also not interested. I am also tired, exhausted. Throat is not cooperating. इतना मेरे को, because not easy daily to 7 8 hours for all 2000 days and all. No, it's a big task taking the toll what you call. But what inspires is this. अभी है, जिंदा है, गला है. You do it for yourself. Whether people appreciate or depreciate, try to improve the quality. वो तो है ही. But then that inspiration. करते रहो. See, many other things which have to be done, they are not done. All that dukkha is reduced because at least one thing we are doing. Not removed completely. Because जिस कारण से दुख हो रहा है उसको निकालो तो ही दुख जाता है. But still at least. Not that I am zero I am. I am 100% useless. ऐसा तो नहीं. At least 1 hour class we are doing. And if I can do 1 hour, why not 2 hours? Like that. So we have to worry and use that power of worrying for negative, for mainly positive. Like some egoistic people are there. When somebody insults them, you are useless, you are good for nothing. Out of that ego, he just wants to prove himself. Then he just comes out of laziness, कुछ करके दिखाता है. क्या कहा तुमने परसों में? अब देख. The negative power of getting hurt as an ego, he has used it positively. फायदा उसी को हुआ. Same way, our negative power of worry has to utilize, and worry should be. अगर worry भी नहीं है मानो, then we are gada, bhais, good for nothing, useless fellow, that we are not even worried that we are not doing sadhana. It's sheer tamoguna, it is. Most insensitive. It's a rock and stone only. कि जिंदगी जी रहे एक को एक दिन like all other people around us. They don't even care little bit that they are not doing any spirituality. Age is coming to an end, going to die, but still, वही भोग, वही सिनेमा, वही दारू, वही खाओ. Not even say, no, difference होना चाहिए उनमें हमें. The only difference is they are not worried. That much careless they are. We are worried. Like in the government also. Government should be worried. यार 5 साल दिया, पब्लिक ने 4 साल हो गए, अब एक ही साल है. How much service I have done for the country? In 1 year, how much I can do? Whether they'll give me power or not next year, I don't know. Election. अब तो करना. Isn't it? So what a person coming to retirement. 30 years I served, now 3 years more are there. I might have done good work, but now I'll do more. Just 3 more only years are there to serve. Isn't it? In that way, chinta converting into positive energy. Like in today's world, one of the biggest tasks is how to convert the waste material or garbage into energy. Big thing going on. There's so many countries इतना research किया उन्होंने, and they are achieving success. From the plastic, how many things are coming up now. Earlier it was such a tension, कितना plastic बढ़ रहा है, क्या करें. Without plastic you can't be now because जरूरत हो गई. Question was not the plastic production, but your disposal. Now they are finding alternatives. How to use it the other way around. Why, think in the same way, not worrying looks to be healthy, but then are you too relaxed there? You have to see also. Worrying looks to be unhealthy, but that worry has always a strength to push us in the right direction if we can give that push, and we have to do so. Either highest intellection we should have, शुद्ध सत्वगुण से होता है वो, or at least we should have worry, no? Highest intellection wala, he'll think, कि why should I suffer my health, my ill health? Why should I suffer my poverty? I'll just work and all. He's always in सत्वगुण, higher. वो नहीं है हमारे पास, कम से कम तमोगुण होना चाहिए कि worry. But out of that worry, we have to bring out, create or intensify or give birth to the sadhaka in us. वरी होना चाहिए हमको, क्या होने वाला है अगले साल मेरा स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ का, 5 साल के बाद क्या होगा, अगले जन्म. दैट इज वेरी वरीसम. Again in the next life with same set of things and beings, with pulling my leg and troubling me and making me their slave, and I cannot do any sadhana at all. Not only the people around, that is secondary. Primary is our inner personality. It will be like that only, because what concrete or substantial I am doing to change? Nothing I am doing. When I don't do, how will it happen? जो करते हैं वही होगा ना, नहीं किया तो कैसा होगा? So that worry, say, we have to slowly become more and more caring for our sadhana, single pointed for our sadhana, intense for our sadhana, deep for our sadhana. अगला जन्म मेरा इससे बढ़कर अच्छा होना है स्पिरिचुअली, अगला साल अच्छा होना है स्पिरिचुअली. अगला साल बॉडी कैसा होगा वी डोंट नो, बिकॉज वी इट्स नॉट इन आवर कंट्रोल, बट द इनर पर्सनालिटी कैन बी इन आवर कंट्रोल. It can be changed. Body cannot, because it is set out of prarabdha. Little care we can take of not adding the nonsense at the body level, which is also essential. But more than that, the inner one. So let us worry, and out of worry create. And then what is the whole sadhana spiritual? So simple. Only two or three things. One, become aware of the mind. That's all. Second, become aware of the content of the mind. That's all. Third, replace the content of the mind from the worldly to the spiritual. हो गया, इतना ही है साधना. And maintain it. Make it regular and be in that. So that mind is having the content of the Paramatma so much that the mind cannot hold Paramatma. Then the mind gets dissolved, Paramatma remains. That's called Lina Brahmani, today which we'll study. That's what yesterday also our Yoga Vasishta में वशिष्ठ जी ने कहा, है ना, महात्मानः महानुभावाः जीवन मुक्ताः विचरन्ति ह लोके. In the same way, Munirna Vyamoham Bhajani Guru Diksha Kshatatamaha in our Adi Shankara's literature. Like now I close my eyes, I become aware of the mind. What is the content in the mind? If the content is the things and beings and outer kama, krodha, bhoga, all of that, so I am worldly, then replace it. Again it will come, again replace, till it doesn't come. Ultimately, as we thoroughly studied 4 sargas in Yoga Vasishta Maharama, ultimately the Purushartha wins. We lose only because we are not using the Purushartha. Purushartha alone wins. Finally, till the Purushartha wins, we have to use the Purushartha. What is Purushartha here? Changing the content of the mind from the worldly to the spiritual. Go on. And the scriptural understandings, etc., will aid in this aspect. Whenever the question comes, why should I come? Why should I do? How long I should do? Such questions are answered by scriptural knowledge. Because in Paramatma Prapti only there is moksha. Therefore, I must seek him. And seeking him is in the mind. That is the again and again. Like the children ask, why should I study? वो गधा जिंदगी भर पूछता ही रहेगा, उसको जवाब देना ही पड़ता है. Why should I work? They ask. Like the oldies also ask, why should I come to class? That old man need to be told the answer, whether he accepts or not. Because when you come to class regularly, your people at home get relaxed and their prayers are answered. Isn't it? भगवान says, ये बंदा मेरे को भी नहीं चाहिए या तुमको भी नहीं चाहिए, वो इनको सत्संग में भेजो. That is a benefit. So the questioning, doubting, losing the morale or courage are answered by the scriptural knowledge, the Guru Upadesha, the study of Puranas, where the great Bhakta stories we listen. They keep on putting us on the track. And the track is only one work. The content of the mind, if it is the world, we are 100% samsari. As simple as that. If the content of the mind is Paramatma, we are sadhaka. How long? Till the mind dissolves, Paramatma only is experienced. इसको पकड़ो, अब इसको समझो, अब इसको करो और इसको पाओ, बस. But that worry should be there. That worry ki by next year my mind should soak in devotion to my Lord or soak in the nirantara chintana of the Atma Vastu. For that what I have to do next 6 months, next month, tomorrow, अब क्या करना है? And all boils down to मैं अब क्या कर रहा हूँ? Finally, this at this moment, only if you may conquer the moment, then only I have conquered the future. If this moment is lost, we are bound. We can't afford to lose even a moment. Every moment in that, in that, in that. And for that, the other Upanishads help us that anything other than Paramatma being mithya, it is not worthy of holding. Therefore, drop it. Not only it is denying us to know the truth, but it is making us bound. For no reason. यार जो है ही नहीं सांप इतना डरा धमका रहा है. See that funniest thing. It is not there, but it is so much frightening. So to the world is such mithya, but he is giving me so much worry. I must know it. From that, I should decide. Now I will not worry by kicking it away. कोई भी बंदा आप वैल्यू देते हो तो आपको दुखी करता है. As long as we give value, it will give you dukha. Giving value means you want something from that person. One day, fine morning, when you realize, and because of this fellow, I'm suffering only, कोई use ही नहीं है. You kick him out of your house and mind. Within few days, everything is settled. With this type of Shastra Jnana gained in through other Shastra, every moment, instead of Paramatma, whatever else we are forced to remember, that we start rejecting. Every moment, Bhagavan. To achieve this final goal of every moment, we are given a training of Subha Ardha Ghanta Puja, Sham Ka Ardha Ghanta Puja. It's a beginning. It's not the end. The end is we and every moment is lost only in Paramatma. That is the ultimate. For that, this little. The ones who are immature, this only get stopped here only. हाँ मैं सुबह क्लास में आ रहा हूँ ना मैं हो गया मेरा साधना. ऐसा नहीं है. सुबह क्लास इज ए बिगिनिंग. Throughout the day, we have to be in that only, not to oblige anyone. The one who is thinking, asking this question, कि सुबह आ रहा हूँ मैं क्लास में, अब मेरे को छोड़ो. That way he thinks that he is coming to class for Swami ji का आत्म प्राप्ति और स्वामी जी के आत्म शांति. Like if I tell Gurudev, I am doing my morning class, and leave me whole day. That means as if I am doing this for Gurudev. Then that funny question comes. It's not for anybody we are doing, it's for us only, isn't it? If that maturity doesn't come, if we are childlike or childish, then these type of emotions we get blackmailed by. Who is doing all that? Our own inner mind. कोई बाहर enemy नहीं होता. वी ओनली टॉक, ऐसा करता हूँ मैं, कल क्लास नहीं आऊंगा, ऐसा करता हूँ मैं, परसों नहीं आऊंगा, ऐसा कर... अरे क्यों करते हो ऐसा? वी ओनली थिंक लाइक दैट. ऐसा करते हैं, पहले हिसाब खाना वाना बना के खूब खाएंगे ना, उसके बाद फिर हम सत्संग करेंगे. खाने के बाद कोई सत्संग करता है क्या? आराम से नींद हो जाएगा. सी हाउ आवर ईगो एंड माइंड make a gada out of ullu, our own self. And that enemy mind we consider as our friend. And that friend, the Guru who guides us, for us, he appears to be an enemy. So this is how we have to sort out outside and inside. So one thought today main, baki samjhe na samjhe, is mind and its content. Mind it. Let the content be divine. Mm. Always. Starting from the name of the Lord, the stories of the Lord, the gunas of the Lord, the bhakti prapatti to the Lord. These are all the beginning things. Towards and the nature of the Lord, and He alone is me. Those thoughts always should be there. All Shastras in the language which we are never understanding, called as Sanskrita, they are talking this one. The whole world is in the mind. Replace that world by the Paramatma. When the mind holds the world mind both are real. We are bound in that. When the content in the mind becomes Paramatma, mind cannot hold Paramatma. Na? So it dissolves. Paramatma being eternal, he will not go anywhere. We experience him. That's called Samadhi. Tadeva arthamasa nirbhasa swarupa shunyamiva samadhi. You have seen, no, in the in the Samadhi definition of Yoga Darshan. Let us be receiving the blessings given by the divinity continuously. Let us be open to it. Let us make use of it continuously. Like, old days, my children are working somewhere far out distance. So once in a month they send by money order. So on that day they wait for money order. There was no other communication, no? तो एक आध बार 2 दिन लेट हो गया. Then they asked the postman, आया नहीं क्या? आज नहीं आया, परसों आ गया. Immediately they take it and spend for all the grocery and all. We are given the money order of Guru Krupa every day. और हमको ओवर हो गया एक्सेस. दैट्स व्हाई वी आर लूजिंग द वैल्यू फॉर इट. Good that some people stopped coming to class. Either they are lost or they may again regain the value and importance of these classes and go attend somewhere. इधर आने की क्या जरूरत है? जहाँ भी जाओ तत्व को सुनो, समझो, पाओ. That's it. More wise if we are, we understand how much Krupa Karuna that Bhagavan is continuously sending that money order. Is my ego obstructing that flow of the Krupa by any other plannings, any other suggestions? Am I myself becoming enemy to myself in spite of the relentless blessings by the Guru, the Shastra, the Paramatma? That's a good question. It should be questioned and we should know the answer. ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः एरिमे गुरुः पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्यातः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ विदिताखिलशास्त्रसुधाजलधे महितोपनिषत् कथितार्थनिधे हृदये कलये विमलं शरणं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणं। ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः श्वेताश्वतपराचार्येभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः तेषां कृपया उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्षप्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्वाध्यात्मिकप्रगति एकता शान्ति धर्मसंस्थापकानां निरन्तरदिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराममन्दिरवत् शिवकृष्णादि समस्तमन्दिराणाम् आश्रमाणां पुण्यदिव्यक्षेत्राणां भूभाग विश्वविद्यालयादीनाम् अवाप्ति पुनः तेषु निरन्तर शास्त्र अध्ययन अध्यापना उपासना ज्ञाग साधना सेवादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तरशत्रूणां शाश्वतरूपेण समूलनिर्मूलनं भारतवर्षे विश्वे वैदिकहैन्दवसंस्कृतेः अस्मात् क्षणादेव सम्पूर्ण सम्यक् शाश्वत प्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थं विश्वे मोक्षधर्मपुरुषार्थ प्रतिष्ठाद्वारा विश्व संरक्षणाभिवृद्ध्यर्थं अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां सर्वेषां सङ्कल्पितसत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मभक्ति भगवद्देवता गुरुशास्त्र सत्संग साधना सेवा मातापितृदेशधर्म सनातनधर्म भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्मसाफल्यार्थम् अनेकशास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्नमध्ये श्री कृष्णयजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आद्यशङ्कर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। आदौ पारायणं फ्रॉम 16 to 21 थर्ड चैप्टर। ओम सर्वतः पाणिपादं तदा सर्वतोक्षिशिरोमुखं सर्वतः श्रुतिमल्लोके सर्वमावृत्य तिष्ठति सर्वेन्द्रियगुणाभासं सर्वेन्द्रियविवर्जितं सर्वस्य प्रभुरीमीशानं सर्वस्य शरणं बृहतो नवद्वारे पुरे देहि हंसो लेलायते बहिः वशी सर्वस्य लोकस्य स्थावरस्य चरस्य च अपाणिपादो जवनो गृहीता पश्यत्य चक्षुः सशृणोत्यकर्णः अणौरणि सवेत्ति वेद्यं न च तस्यास्ति वेत्ता तमाहुरग्र्यं पुरुषं महान्तम् अनोरणीयान् महतो महीयान् आत्मा गुहायां निहितोऽस्य जन्तोः तमक्रतुं पश्यति वीतशोकः धातुः प्रसादान् महिमानमीशं वेदाहमेतम् अजरं पुराणं सर्वात्मानं सर्वगतं विभुत्वात् जन्मनिरोधं प्रभवन्ति यस्य ब्रह्मवादिनो हि प्रवदन्ति नित्यम्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः। ओम नित्यानन्दं निराधारं निखिलाधारमव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकण्ठं नमाम्यहम्। ॐ सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। चैंट द So what is the doubt? Straight away come to the Sambandha Bhashyam, the Ashtamo mantra. Nanu Advitiye Paramatmani Abhyupagamyamane. When you intellectually get convinced about the Advitiya Parabrahma, then Jiva Ishwarayorapi Vibhaga Abhavat. When there is Ekameva Advayam Brahma, how can there be two separate things called as Jiva and Ishvara? Therefore, Lina Brahmani iti. See the literal meaning of that sentence, Brahmani Leena. So something merged in something. So you are accepting the presence of two. Therefore, Leena Brahmani iti Jivanam Brahma Ekatva Para Laya Shruti. As if Jiva is not a Brahman now. If not, they are separate because you are saying Leena. Then how did you talk about the Brahma being Advitiya? ब्रह्म अद्वितीय कब है? हमेशा है. अगर हमेशा ब्रह्म इज अद्वितीय, then where is something called as jiva other than Brahman? And now he is becoming leaner in the Brahman. गुरु महाराज आप ठीक बोल रहे हो ना? सो लीना ब्रह्मणि इति जीवानां ब्रह्म एकत्वपरा लय श्रुति. The Shruti which talks about the laya of the jiva into Brahman is anupapanna eva. It is not acceptable, it is not possible. Iti ashankya. So this question they may have because in the Upanishad, Leena Brahmani said that is valid only when there are two things. One is Brahman, then other one is other than Brahman, whoever is that jiva, who was called as Asmin Hamso Brahmyate Brahmachakre. So you have accepted the jiva's existence. Then only you are talking that he is Leena. If this is the case, then what is said earlier as the Brahman Advitiya, now you drop that thought. If you say Brahman is Advitiya, then Leena Brahmani you should drop. If you say Leena Brahmani accepting, then drop the Brahman is Advitiya. Because द्वितीय है ना, इसलिए एक दूसरे में मर्ज हो रहा है. इति आशंक्य सीधा. Here only Guru Maharaj is telling कि व्यवहार अवस्थायाम, है ना, at the time of व्यवहार, है ना, that व्यवहारास are again three व्यवहारास. One is that vyavahara in which we do all nonsense also. Second is that vyavahara where we do the sensible thing called as our dharmadi. Third, that vyavahara can be made as sadhana. So vyavahara rupi vyavahara where we have to do our duties. Sadhana rupi vyavahara, that also vyavahara. Third, self-destroying samsara rupi vyavahara where kama krodho se bharkar adharma paap karna. Second, doing our own swadharmanushtana duties. Third, doing sadhana. All these three are vyavahara. So, vyavahara avasthayam. Okay. Here the Purvapakshi ko Siddhanta samjha rahe. Vyavahara avasthayam jiva ishwarayoho. Between the jiva and Ishvara, upadhikruta vibhagam darshayitva. Between jiva and Ishvara, there is a vibhaga, there is a separation. Between jiva and Ishvara, there is separation. Which one? Vibhaga, upadhikruta vibhaga. The sense of separation is there because of the only upadhi. Darshayitva, having told like that, so at the vyavahara avastha, whether vyavahara is samsara or vyavahara is sadhana. At that time, there is jiva ishvara difference on the basis of only upadhi. Darshayitva, then tat vijnanat. But that jiva, when he knows the tat paramatma as his own self, then amrutatvam darshayati. The amrita prapti he will get it. So here, that Leena Brahmani means getting the Vijnana or Anubhuti. That he is Nirupadhika Brahman. So at the Vyavahara Avastha, there is a Upadhikruta Veda. That time you have to do the Vyavahara of avoiding the dharma, Vyavahara of the dharma, and then the Vyavahara of the sadhana. For that, use the Upadhis. And all sadhana ultimately are to transcend the Upadhi and see the Amrita Swarupa Nirupadhika Atma. Isn't it? If you are experiencing the Advaya Brahma, then Leena Brahman is not required for you. You are experiencing it already. Nahi kar rahe ho agar, then this is Leena Brahman. That Leena is to tell us to do the sadhana that is to be done at the Upadhi level. And see, all sadhanas at the Upadhi level are to qualify us for the final sadhana of transcending the Upadhis. Then that Nirupadhika Brahma. At that time, Ekamevadhyam Brahma. Right. So to convey this to us, that sadhana kala, vyavahara kala, there is jiva ishvara bheda. And that jiva, in that vyavahara, when he makes it as a sadhana, and in that sadhana, as guided by the Shastra, when it does, he discovers that Brahman, which is beyond all upadhi, then he is Amrita, he is Mukta. That experience is called as Leena Brahmani. So don't go by the grammar or the dictionary meaning of the word Leena, you catch what is meant. You are feeling you are separate from Paramatma. Therefore, in that language only we tell that you merge him in and find your oneness with him. आपके भाषा में समझा रहे कि आपको परमात्मा का अनुभव है क्या नहीं है मतलब समथिंग एल्स अनुभव यू हैव नो विदाउट सम अनुभव तो यू आर नॉट देयर यू हैव सम अनुभव नॉट परमात्मा वाला so getting the Paramatma Anubhava, we are calling it as Leena. That much only the word meaning. Now, as regard the process is concerned, at the Upadhika level, like samsara vyavahara level, you have the Upadhis and you purify them, make them single pointed, use the Upadhis only in the Sacha Paramatma, and then they take you to some extent. Thereafter, you have to drop them and discover yourself. That is the complete meaning of Leena Brahmani or Amrutattva Prapti. Right? Now the mantra. Chant it. संयुक्तमेतत् क्षरमक्षरं च व्यक्ताव्यक्तं भरते विश्वमीशः अनीशश्चात्मा बध्यते भोक्तृभावात् ज्ञात्वा देवं मुच्यते सर्वपाशैः संयुक्तमेतत् क्षरमक्षरं च व्यक्ताव्यक्तं भरते विश्वमीशः अनीशश्चात्मा बध्यते भोक्तृभावात् ज्ञात्वा देवं मुच्यते सर्वपाशैः. Literal meaning is etat, the familiar world of experiences which we have. Etat sanyuktam. It is a combination. In that combination, what are the two things that are there? Ksharam and Aksharam. Okay. Ksharam, Aksharam. First, etat ksharam and aksharam sanyuktam. First point. Second is that kshara akshara alone is in other languages called as vyaktam and avyaktam. Second point. Third, both these two, vyaktam and avyaktam, which itself in the other language called as kshara aksharam, both of them are bharate. Both of them put together become vishwam. That is called as a world. Both of them and through them the world. Bharate Ishaha. That Ishvara, the Parabrahma, is the one Bharate that supports. This Bharate is Supratishta, as we saw in the earlier shloka. तस्मिन् त्रयं सुप्रतिष्ठा हमने कहा ना वो यहाँ भरते. सो एतद् विश्वं क्षर अक्षर संयुक्तम एतद् विश्वं व्यक्ताव्यक्त संयुक्तम. Understood? Both of them are Bharate, supported by Isha, the Parabrahma, Paramatma. Now, here only we tell, and throughout this Upanishad we will study again and again. These two, the Akshara, Akshara is Jiva and Ishvara, Jiva and all the Upadhis also. Like I am the Jiva, all my Upadhis. Or with the Upadhis I am the Jiva, then the Ishvara. So, the Ishvara, Jiva, Upadhi. Upadhi itself is Prakriti. So the Ishwaratva, the Jivatva, the Upadhitva, whether it is Vyashti Upadhi or Samashti Upadhi. Isara, Isha Bharate. They are all being supported by something which is other than it, called as the Brahman. First, this is the thing existing, understand. Now, in that, this Jiva, third line we keh कि अनीशः च आत्मा बध्यते भोक्तृभावात्. The one, Anishah, the Jiva, not able to keep the Upadhi under his control, therefore coming under. slavery of that upadhi called as anisha. Badhyate, he is a samsari who is suffering now. This anisha word beautifully comes in the Mundaka Upanishad. Mhm. Anishaya shochati mukhyamanaha jushtam yada pashyati anyamesham asya mahimanamiti vita shoka. Beautiful it was. Actually ना हमारा माइंड पूरा उपनिषदों का नॉलेज में ही सोख होना है, नथिंग अदर. Then when we study one Upanishad, already studied Upanishad mantras, we remember. Then in coordination of both of them, we start becoming stronger in our knowledge. उसी में बिजी रहना है. Like every professional person is expected to do that. A scientist of his past scientific discoveries, when he remembers, then he gets inspired. A medical scientist, the earlier discoveries and right now. An engineer, a politician, a person who has conquered the युद्ध, पिछले वाला याद करता हुआ इसमें फिर he will try to find the better things. For them, that is the whole world. And for us, when spirituality becomes world, in that, then we refer, okay, udhar cho wahan ka. Anishaya shochati mukhyatmana. Same thing here he said, Anishascha Atma. Badhyate. So the Atma here is Jiva. Anisha is not able to become Isha or Ishvara of the Upadhi. Badhyate. And what is that which makes him Anisha? Therefore, Badhyate. Most important thing in the whole Vedanta. एक ही एक शब्द, isn't it? Think about it. I want to become the bhokta. Immediately, I am needing the upadhis to have the bhoga. And immediately, I am wanting the bhogya vastu. Then immediately, I have to do something to get that bhogya vastu. And to do something, I have to become the karta. अब reverse करो. When the bhoktru bhava is gone, then the bhogya upadhis are not required. Upadhis, instruments. Then bhogya vastus are not required. Then to gain that vastus, the karma is not required. Then the karta is not required. Then the karta bhokta rupi jiva is not there. Because jiva is karta bhokta, karya karanatma. We have seen in Mandukya Upanishad. Karta bhokta is jiva. Aham karomi mama ete sukha dukhe. This is called jiva bhava. I am doing it, these are my sukha dukkha. Why? In pure Brahman, there is no doing, there is no sukha dukkha. He is only in Ananda Swarup. See the highest, important, most thought brought in one sentence, one line, one word in this Upanishad by the great Guru. Okay? Badhyate. Atma badhyate. Jivatma badhyate. Anisha badhyate. First understand it. He is bound because of not able to control the upadhis or come out of the upadhi. You should ask only one question: why I am not able to come out of the upadhis? Why they are enslaving me? Why I am not able to control them? Only one thing: because we have bhoktru bhava. You know? Like in any example of a parent dealing with the child or the boss dealing with the subordinate. If he has no bhoktru bhava from that stupid child or subordinate, he will control that fellow left and right. Isn't it? अब जब उसको भोक्तृ भाव होती है कि मेरा बेटा है, मुझे पापा कहना चाहिए, वो नहीं तो मैं नहीं रह सकता. And this Anisha, this useless fellow, but देते हुए that useless fellows every nonsense doing. और देखता रहेगा. He is the Dhritarashtra and that fellow is Duryodhan. हम वही पढ़ रहे हैं गीता में. Anisha, भोक्तृ भाव. What is the bhoktru bhava in Dhritarashtra? That I want to enjoy to be called as the father of the king when my son is made as king. इन ध्रुतरा दिल्ली में भी ऐसा ही है ना, अपोजिशन पार्टी में ऑल बेवकूफ लोग मिलकर किसी को बनाने का कोशिश कर रहे। परमात्मा नहीं होने देंगे भारत माता में। देर आर ग्रेट महात्मास डूइंग संकल्प एंड प्रार्थना, दैट नॉनसेंस विल नॉट हैपन एनीवे. सो नाउ यू अंडरस्टूड द बॉस आल्सो भोक्तृ भाव. When he has got something to get from that subordinate, or in any other way, it can be any way, that he was taking some bribe, then that subordinate saw, then now he is blackmailing him. अगर आप मुझे छुट्टी नहीं दोगे तो दैट आई विल रिपोर्ट टू द ऑफिसर, मेरे पास प्रूफ भी है. अब दिस फेलो हैज बिकम भोक्ता, therefore now anisha, no, he cannot command that subordinate now. Anytime he will come, anytime he will go, whether he does the work or not, he cannot command because bhoktu bhavas. Any example we take in life, what one thing we have to conquer is the bhoktrutva. Why should we become a bhokta of the bhogya vastus through the upadhis? Why the delusion of its compulsion? Isn't it? No need. I am in my own bliss without this triputi of bhokta, bhojya and bhoga. Like in Nidra, there is no vastu, there are no indriyas, there is no contact, but still there is bliss. हमको ना इतना चढ़ा रहता है मुझे कि ये भोग करना, वो भोग करना है. टू बिकम भोग करना है तो भोक्ता बनना पड़ेगा. भोग्य वस्तु जरूरत है, वो फुकट में नहीं मिलता है. यू हैव टू वर्क फॉर इट एंड देन यू बिकम कर्ता. सो देयरफॉर फॉर द भोग्य वस्तु सेक, टू हैव द भोग ऑफ इट एज ए कर्ता एंड भोक्ता, वी आर बाउंड. दैट्स व्हाई अकर्ता हम, अभोक्ता हम, अहमेवा हम अव्ययः. बट हमको तो रहना नहीं आता विदाउट बीइंग ए कर्ता भोक्ता. Then be one with the self habitually. In between these two, instead of becoming karta and bhokta of your own self, become karta and bhokta of the Lord. What is the meaning of that? The Lord is the karta through me. Karte ho tum kanaya. And bhokta with the Lord. Lord said also, bhokta haram yagna darsam. So you offer the fall to him only. That intermediate stage which the Bhakti Shastra helps us is so much. Yes, suddenly from karta bhokta, I cannot become akarta bhokta. Then what is done? The kartrutva bhoktrutva is shifted to the Lord. Upasya deva. He is making me do this thing and I am offering the result to him. For some time when it is done, then the powerful kartrutva bhoktrutva goes away. Then the akarta bhokta self is realized. That is the meaning of Munir na vyamoham bhajati guru diksha kshatatama. I realize myself akarta bhokta Paramatma. So wherever are there, upadhis are working. Indriyasya indriyasya arthe raga dvesho vyavastito, or as said in again Gita in many places, prakrite gunaye sarvasha karmani kriyamanani ahankara vivudatma karta manyate. The one who realizes the self, he doesn't become karta. He is only a sakshi. Guru diksha kshatatamaha muni vyamoham na bhajati. Good shloka it is. So this is the literal meaning. What is it? Sanyuktam etat. There is a set Kshara Akshara, which itself is called Vyakta Vyakta. Both are separated by the Isha, the Brahman. In that, the Jiva, Anishaha, Anishaha Atma means the Jiva who is a slave to his Upadhis. Badhyate. Why all that trouble came to him? Bhoktru Bhavat. Then the solution is what? Jnatva Devam. When he realizes that Deva, the Dyotarvan, the pure conscious self, to be himself, Muchate, gets freed from Sarvapashahi, all the ropes which were tying him, binding him. And the ropes of confusion, ropes of ignorance, ropes of delusion, they're all, he gets freed from it. So from this sloka, we have to understand that with the Bhoktru Bhava, we are bound 100%. We are bound to Ishvara also, that we have to do the Upasana to. We are bound to the world also, that we have to become the beggar to it. We are bound to the other living beings also, that उनके सामने भी हाथ झुकाकर भीख मांगना पड़ता है. Then we are bound by the objects through which we want to have the bhoga. Finally, the instruments, the stupid instruments. You know, because you have to keep them intact to have that bhoga. These are all bondages only because of one thing, bhoktur bhava. Isn't it? Like घर में कुछ चीज खाना बनाने का खाना है. If you get that bhoktur bhava, you depend on so many. You have to ask your children to go and get the vegetable, or the husband or father-in-law. Then the servant will have to do work. और इतना लोगों के ऊपर हमें डिपेंड होता है because of that भोक्तृ भाव. And the object should be there in the shop, and that shop वाले को आपको रिक्वेस्ट करना, बेटा वो वस्तु दो. This is an example you have to know. One bhoktru bhava of one bhogya vastu making us anisha and baddha to so many things. No, another opposite of it, drop that bhoktru bhava about that bhogya vastu. One example, the entire drama is gone, isn't it? Like one example only. This example only comes to my mind. मैं क्या करूं? How we stop taking tea and coffee, bono. That whole samsara is gone. वो चाय कॉफी बनाने वाला पतीला का भी जरूरत नहीं होगा, वो छन्नी की भी जरूरत नहीं होगी, दिन डब्बा की जरूरत नहीं है जिसमें पाउडर डालना पड़ता है. यू आर फ्रीड फ्रॉम दैट. वन भोक्तृ भावा छोड़ दिया. The whole world of people give up tea and coffee. They won't die without tea and coffee. Then the whole tea coffee industries, all of them go away. And all the nonsense that is happening through them goes away. Example. So each of us are becoming bhokta, wanting to become, and samishti also want to become bhokta. Therefore, all samishti is caught up in kartrutva. Anisha hai. For every individual or total, solution is only jnatva devam muchyate sarva pasha. Pasha is the identity with upadhis, pasha is kartrutva, bhoktrutva, all of that. And that भोक्तृ भाव से जो भोग करते हैं वो छोड़ता नहीं है, फिर अगेन इट बिकम्स वासना. इट चेजेस अस. प्रॉब्लम. ठीक है. दिस अ वेरी गुड टॉपिक. टुमारो विथ भाष्यम वी स्टडी वेरी एग्जॉस्टिव इट इज. Let us try our best to unravel the meanings in that. Om 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 Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Tat Sat. Brahmarpanamastu. Join in 5 minutes.